Alright guys, here's the second factor video. Here we go. Let's get started. The first thing I want to do is take the GCF. So I'm going to look at my first three numbers, and these are my coefficients. So 3, 9, and 6. It looks like 3 is what I can factor out of them. And then, do I have any variables that are in common? Is there any variables that I have in common? I have x, x, and x. So I'm going to put an x. And then I want to take out the most I possibly can. Now, x to the third is the largest, but that does not mean I can take out x to the third for all of these. I can only actually take out the smallest one that I see, so that's x to the first power. Okay. What I do next is I go ahead and take my GCF, okay, and I'm going to divide each of these by the GCF to give me what's left. Okay, I'm going to factor out this GCF of 3x. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and then x squared to the x power is just going to be x. Here I get 9 divided by 3 is positive 3, x divided by x to the first, that's just going to cancel. And then we get minus, so this is going to be 2, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then this is 3 minus 1, which gives me x squared. And that's my factored answer right there. Alright, here we go. Take a look. We got 13 and 39. Now, I know that we can go ahead and see what might work with this. Now, 13 is not factorable, so as long as 39 is divisible by 13, that's the only way we're going to get something, and in fact it is. So we're going to get 13 out here, and then we want to go ahead and take a look at what do we have in common. Okay, so when it appears here, they both have an x, so I get to write an x. They don't both have a y, but they do both have a z. So I get x and a z. Now what is the most I can take out? Well, I got x to the first power, x to the second power, so the most I can take out is x to the first. I got z to the first and z to the third. The most I can take out is z to the first. Okay, so there's my GCF. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide each of these by that GCF. 13xz and 13xz. Okay, and what do we have left? 13 divided by 13, that goes away. X squared divided by x to the first. Okay, that's just going to become x. Y, there's no y's to cancel, so I leave that y to the third power. And then z to the first and z to the first, that goes to 0, so that's gone. So that's all I'm left with. Plus, 39 divided by 13 is 3. X to the first minus x to the first, that cancels. Z to the third, z to the first, that's going to subtract and give me z to the second power. And there we go. Okay, so that's 13xz times x y to the third plus z to the second. Okay, we have some pretty lofty numbers here. They're pretty big. Let's take a look at all three of them. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what goes in all of these numbers, but I do know 2 will go into them. In fact, I'm pretty sure 8 will go into them. So let's go ahead and use 8 as my GCF. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and look at my variables. What variables do I have that might work? Okay, so I have an x in all of them, and I don't have a y in all of them, so I can only get an x. And then squared, first power, so the most I can take out is just 8x. Okay, so let's go ahead and divide it out. $8 and 256. Now, luckily I have a calculator with me, otherwise I'd have to do the long division, but 8 goes into 256 32 times. And then x to the first minus x to the second is actually going to be just x. Next we get negative. 8 goes into that 4 times. And the x's cancel and we get y squared left over. Plus 8 goes into that twice. And that gives me the x's both cancel, x to the first, x to the first. And I'm left with y squared, and there we go. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Mr. Smith, 8 was not the GCF, and you're actually correct, and I did this on purpose here, is that we should always look back at what we have. Notice I have a 32, a 4, and a 2. Does it look like I can pull anything else out? And the answer should be yes. I can actually still pull a 2 out. I took out 8 as a common factor, but it actually wasn't the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor would have been 16. So I have 8 out here, but I could have taken out a 2 as well. Notice whatever we take out multiplies. So I really should have taken out a 16x. So I got to divide each of these by 2 still. because I should have done that in the first place. I just made a mistake. So this is going to become 16x minus 2y squared plus y squared. Okay? Alright, and there we go. That's our answer there. Here's our last one. We'll go ahead and do this one. I got 18, 9, and 27. I know that 3 will go into all of them, but I want to think of a bigger GCF, and I think 9 will. So let's try 9. Okay, as far as my variables go, it looks like I have no variable. There's no variable here. I have nothing to pull out. X is not in all of them, Y is not in all of them. So all I have to do is divide by 9 to them. That's going to become 2xy minus x squared plus 3y. I look at it again. Is there any x's I could pull out? Y's? No. Numbers? Nope. That's all I can do. That's fully factored. Alright guys, nice short quick video. I'm going to be stamping 2 on Monday. So make sure you watch both.